let's get started. Again, for those who just joined, GM, it's good to have you here. Thanks for taking the time out of your schedule in the week and join the bootcamp session. We are really excited. Hey Siddharth, hey Dev. Yeah, we're really excited to have you here with us. A lot of new faces, but at the same time, a lot of people that were part of the bootcamp one. So it was pretty cool. I think it was pretty fun to do bootcamp one and do like go over 101s and basics. Just in case if you're new here and want to get some catch some context, catch some references, go to the Discord again. If somebody can share the Discord link in the chat, there you can have the recording of bootcamp session one. It was pretty good, good for basics, get to started. But today's session is gonna be quite fun. We're gonna put our practice or whatever we learned from last session into practice and build something finally. So it's like a actionable boot camp. Uh, and the build is going to be pretty fun. We're gonna make a Skribbl, but on chain. So how many of you played Skribbl here? Can I get like that fun doodle online game where you draw stuff and people have to guess? Uh, drop a like a fire emoji in the chat if you have played Skribbl before. Um, okay, nice. Cool. Yeah, it's a pretty fun game if you haven't already. And we're gonna make it on chain on via AO, and we have with us again, the one and only Rohit to just walk you through the session and just go through the steps. So yeah, man, just make sure your laptops are charged and let's get started and then take this discussion over to Discord. So yeah, let's make sure it's a fun one and over to you, Rohit.
Guys, thank you for joining. Today's session is going to be fun. Like it was a super fun build, just walking through it. And it is going to be a little long one. We are going to go in depth just because I wanted to showcase what basically goes into creating almost a complete application with Arweave AO and the whole front end part of things. So yes, we will like build up from learnings from the previous boot camp, and we will learn some new things as well. Um, I have a document here. Give me a second. Yeah, I have a document here that y'all can follow along with. All of the code is there. Just like last time, considering the time and everything, I'm going to copy paste some of the code um, so that y'all can follow along. But I will walk you all through all of the code and explain what each piece is doing, just so it's easier for everyone to follow along. And yes, it's a huge app, so we'll try not to break anything, but if something does, we'll just take it from there. So let me just share my screen and give me a minute. Yeah. Wait, which screen am I sharing? Yes. Um, Okay, so I promise, guys, last time I was just like toggling through multiple like screens on the same device, so I got a new screen for y'all. Um, Let me know if y'all can see. Just give me a thumbs up or something. I can see your chat while I code now. So just yeah, cool. I see Dave. He's given a thumbs up. Ankit, thank you so much. Cool. So we're like I said, we're going to start the app from the very beginning. So again, like in this follow along doc, we're going to create a Next.js application. We're going to use ShadCN because it gives just nice components out of the box. I'm going to use TypeScript because guys, stop using JavaScript, please. And the package manager I'm going to use is PM, personal reference. If you guys like Yarn, NPM, or Bun, feel free to use. So let's thing we want to do is we want to create a new so I'm just copying this. Let's give it a fun name instead of just calling it some stupid sketch game thing. I'm gonna call it Doodler. The name is TBD. Okay, so if it's something you all don't like, we'll change it later. But for now, we're going with that. Yes, I'm going to use ESLint. I want Tailwind. We are going to use the source directory app router, not using TurboPack. And yes, that's the basic setup. Can you go slow a bit? Sure, yes. Slower than this space. I'll go a little slower than this. Cool. So now you want to go inside the repo and then install some dependencies. So I'm just going to cd into what was it called? Tootler. Cool. And the first thing we want to install is shadcn. So this will just give us some nice components out of the box. Um, I'm going to go with the default version and just pick like, I don't know, Slate. Yes, CSS variables. And cool. We have a basic registry setup. So this is more or less like a basic application setup that you get out of the box. If you guys want to use any other package managers, you can go over to ShadCN's official page, and then you can just copy whichever init you want. You can also like copy the components that we'll be using. So we'll go through that along the way. And here you can just see like a demo of an initial app I had created, but we basically want to get to this. We're starting from scratch. So cool. And the reason I have like two browsers set up is because you can't play this game as single player. So I'm just going to like connect with two different wallets here, and then it will help with testing as well. So yeah, back to this. The next thing we want to add is Arweave Wallet Kit. So the reason we're using Arweave Wallet Kit as is because we're going to use Arweave under the hood. So we want to connect to the application with our Arweave wallets. So yeah, so Arweave Wallet Kit just gives us a really nice model out of the box to connect with all the different wallets available in the Arweave ecosystem. But you, okay, let's install that and then we'll see once it comes up. Um, cool. So I was saying, yeah. So again, guys, make sure you're using this particular version of Wallet Kit. It just works nicely out of the box. And once that's done, we can just open this repository in whatever code editor you guys like. I prefer VS Code. Yes, I also use light mode, so please forgive me. Um, and cool. So before we dive into the coding part, you can see this giant screenshot here. It's the structure that we're going to recreate. So let's quickly see what's happening here. We created a source directory and we're using the Next.js app router. So the app folders by default. We have the layout and page. Other than that, we have a components folder inside source. So anything inside this UI subfolder, these are your ShadCN components. And all of the other components here, these are the ones we're going to create. Um, we're also going to create some context. So as we're moving across the different functionalities, there's some common information that we will use throughout the application. And then there's well, okay, yeah, that's more or less what we need. The hooks and stuff we just see along the way. It will get added on as we install some dependencies. Cool. So the first part we want to do, of course, is create this global context. This is some of the basic information that we'll be using across the application. Now, as we go creating components or functions or any other utilities, there may be some errors initially because we're like going to go stepwise creating them. So they'll be resolved along the way. So it's fine if you get some error. So we'll just copy this code here, this entire blur. I'll paste it into a new file and then I will explain what it is supposed to do. Cool. Yes. So I'm going to create a new folder here called context. And then I'm going to create a new file within this folder called game context.tsx. So guys, we're using TypeScript, so remember to use like TS or TSX extensions. And we're going to paste this. Cool. Nice, no errors. So let's see what's happening here. What is this context supposed to do? Um, Well, first of all, like use client because like there's some client related context here. Um, but let's walk through what all is going to happen. The game mode, there are four game modes. There's going to be a landing page, which we saw. This screenshot here, this is a landing, it's not a screenshot, it's an app. This is the landing page. Then there's going to be like a waiting room. So, once you join the game, there's also other people who will join. So you want to wait until someone else joins. It's a two-player game at minimum. Then there's going to be a drawing room. So, a Skribbl is a drawing game, like one person draws and then the other people guess. So there's going to be a drawing room and then there's going to be a guessing room. So those are your four different game modes. After that, there is an interface for players. So interface is just like a structure of the information for the player that we're collecting. So there's going to be like an ID. So ID is the address or wallet address that we connect with. There's going to be a bazaar ID. So what is bazaar? Bazaar is Arweave's NFT marketplace. So Arweave has this different structure of NFTs called atomic assets, and Bazaar is a marketplace for that. It has a separate ID from your wallet address. We covered this last time. It's because your Bazaar IDs are actually AO processes that contain a bunch of information. Then we'll have like a nice display name. We'll have an optional image. We'll collect the score because it's a competitive game. So, we should have some score. And then is creator. So is creator is just a Boolean value to, enable some functionality. Like if you're the creator of a game room, then it just like lets you start the room or end the room or something like that. Then there's the game state. So these are just general variables that will help us navigate across functionality. So, the first thing is because our backend is going to be on AO, we need a game process. So we're going to create a new AO process. We'll see that in a bit. Then every game will have multiple rounds. So let's say around X round, suppose, and every round has one active drawer. So what does that mean? It's one person who draws and then the rest of the people who guess. So we want to store this active drawer's wallet address. We'll see again why. The current round. So of course we want to keep a track of which round we're at. We want to see how many total rounds there are, and then just like a general timestamp variable. And then finally, we just wrap it into like uh, an interface with some bunch of other variables. So, here we want to set the game mode. So, we saw there are four modes. Uh, we're just adding like the ability to set it, setting the player details, setting like details of all the players that have joined game state and the chosen word. So we'll see what all of this means. This is like basic TypeScript, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it. You all can like figure it out. Here I'm just like initializing all of these variables and I'm returning them into a provider. So this provider will basically wrap around our application. And once you wrap the provider around our application, we get access to all of these functions and values throughout. So that's the context. Let's see what's next. Cool. Next, we have like the header and footer components. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to create a basic structure. So like we'll add some functionality to the Next.js layout, the root layout. We'll add to the basic page, and then we'll add like the header and footer. Now, one thing about games on chain is that um, yes, Siddharth, you can try and React Weed, but again, like there might be some differences, and Next.js just has like some polyfills out of the box, which you might have to configure with Weed. But of course, you can try out. But yeah, back to what I was saying. we'll have like some basic components and where was I? Yes, we'll have some basic layout, we'll have some basic components, the header and footer, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a single page application. Because what happens if you're working with things like games or social media applications, typically like if you have multiple pages, you might have to refresh, have like multiple reloads, and that is not a good experience. Like the wait time, while it might not seem significant, when you're actually using the application, you want it to work really quickly. So we're going to try to like replicate as seamless an experience that we can on chain through a single page application. So what is a single page application? It's basically one page and all of your like details are loaded into that page itself. So if you take Instagram, for example, it's a single page application. All of your posts, all of your chats, stories, everything, they're preloaded. So if you're going to a chat page on Instagram, you don't see like a refresh or like a white screen before like your chat loads. That's because it's like a single page application. All of the information is like preloaded, so you can just like scroll and like enjoy your experience seamlessly. So let's start by creating the header and footer components. um I'm going to create a new folder and source called components. um, And I'm going to create a new file called header.tsx. Cool. Okay, wow. Import. Okay, so now this connect button we're importing out of the box from Arweave Wallet Kit. Again, like I mentioned earlier, Arweave Wallet Kit is just this nice provider that we can wrap around our application. It gives us access to a bunch of utilities and also like connections and things like that that make it easier to work with wallets on the front end. So if you want, you can check out the docs of RV Wallet Kit. But that's it. Uh, so this component we can use inside the header or anywhere around the app because we'll like wrap the RV Wallet Kit provider on the layout. So we'll just set up the footer now and then we'll go to the layout part of it. So let's quickly copy the footer. Um, New file, footer.tsx. Again, this is like some basic footer. We'll call this. Yeah, let's change the name here as well. Cool. Now the layout part. So again, just like the previous information, I'm going to copy and paste this into layout.tsx, and then I will explain what's happening. So we already have layout in the app folder. Just go over there and override the code. Uh, okay. Um, Nice. So we have a first error here. It's because we are passing a toaster element. So like toasters are basically those nice pop-ups that you see giving you some notifications. It's just a nice way of figuring out what's happening instead of like just looking at the console every time. So let me quickly install the toaster element and then I'll explain the rest. So I'm going to quickly check the command for it from Shatsian and toast. Yes. By the way, guys, hope like this is visible. Do you need me to zoom in a couple of clicks for better visibility? Just drop it in chat. Okay. It is cool. Perfect. All right. So now we have some metadata. So what is the metadata? When you look at your application here, um, let's see, you're seeing this title. So that's the title of the application, which you define in the metadata. And then the description is what you'll see when you get those preview renders. Cool. Now what's happening here, guys? So first thing we're doing is these children. This is the main part of the application. We're wrapping it with a bunch of things. So first thing is the Arweave wallet kit. Now I've imported this from Arweave wallet kit, and we are setting it up with some basic configurations. Um, there are permissions. So there are a lot of different permissions that you can use for your applications. These are just some basic ones like the wallet address. We need access to the public key, signing a transaction. So uh, when you have this permission, you can sign the transactions on the user's behalf without giving them that transaction pop up every time. So when you're working with like games or social media applications, it can be a little annoying. Ensure permissions are true. So, it just does a check that, your app has these permissions. If not, it will request the user. So, like first time you connect to the application, you will just have to sign and grant all of these permissions. But after that, it will be like seamless. Theme, again, I'm going with light mode. Then inside that, we're wrapping the game provider. So the game provider was the global context we created earlier with like the bunch of variables, functions, and things. Within that, we have the header component, the footer component, and we're passing in the toaster. So what this toaster will do is like anywhere within your app, if you want to like make these pop-ups, those toasts that come for a few seconds and then disappear, it'll just enable that. So that's the layout. And then let's move to the page.tsx. Cool. Um, cool. Now what's happening here, guys? In the page, okay, yeah, this we'll figure out. It's fine with these errors because we have not created those components yet. But let me explain to you all what is happening. Um, everything when you're working with Arweave, ideally you want to have on the client side. This will help you not just like store data on Arweave or interact with Arweave, but also upload the entire application itself on Arweave. So, when you're building with Next.js or whatever your preferred framework is, just make sure everything is like client-side rendering. Um, one lazy way to do it, if you don't want to figure out which specific components or like which specific packages within your application require client-side rendering, is you can just wrap the entire component as a dynamic import and say that server-side rendering is false. So that is what I'm basically doing here. I'm going to have like three components. So the landing page that we saw. The waiting room that we saw and the game round. Sorry, we didn't see the waiting room. So the waiting room and then the game round. Now, why are these components instead of pages? Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's a single page application. So ideally, you want everything loading more smoothly instead of like just having those entire like full reloadings. And then we're just like calling some stuff from the global context. And this is one use connection. So one of the things that Avi Wallet Kit provides is some hooks as well, like the connected hook. So, it's just nice to check if a user is connected with the application or not. So it's a simple this thing like simple call that gives you a Boolean. And then we saw some game modes earlier in the global context, right? So we're just going to check which mode is active, and based on that, we will render the corresponding component. So that's the page, guys. Everyone up to speed so far? Anyone like how many of y'all are actually coding this live alongside? Can you all maybe like give like a hand raise or like a thumbs up or something in chat? Nice. We have Dave here who's live coding. We also have Ash. Nice. Um, cool. So the next part is utils. Now, again, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create a new folder. Oh wait, new folder inside source called lib. Um, oh wait, lib's already there. Sorry. Okay, we have a utils this thing. So I'm just going to override these existing utils with our code. Okay. Um, okay. So um, we need to install one more dependency. It's called permaweb/AO Connect. This dependency will let you interact with AO processes, like send messages to them, read information from them through JavaScript, like your node and browser environments. So we'll just add that. And for anyone who's following along, in case it's not there in the doc, you're just dropping this in chat here. What's nice. So we got that sorted out. What's happening here? Okay, that's fine. We can ignore it. Yeah. So what's happening here, guys? There's a couple of things you can do when you're interacting with AO processes. One is you want to do some write operations, so you can send them messages. And the other is you just want to do some read operations without affecting the state, and then you can do a dry run. So what the dry run means is you can just simulate whatever information you want. It's like verifiably simulating, so you'll get like the accurate result. But like again, you don't need to change the state of the process or the logic. So this is just some general format. What we're doing is there is command for permaweb, please. Yes, I just dropped the package there, but if you're using pnpm, just do like pnpm add this folder. Yeah, I think that should help. Um, cool. So what is dry run? Is a read only, so it takes in some parameters. We're going to take in the game process. So when you're like requesting some read information, you want to like define which process you want to read from. So that's the game process. Again, this is something that we have defined in our global context. Okay, we have not actually. Okay, that's a good reminder, guys. So this is like predefined in the game process, game context right now. But when we create a new process, we will change this. Um, After that, we want some tags. So what are tags? When you're running like these dry runs or something, specific tags, like AO has some specific tags that help them understand what you really want to do when you're sending this information. Like, you have the action tag. So the action tag will help the AO processes identify what action to take in exchange of what message they are receiving. So that's like the dry run. This is like read only. Then we have message. So message is when you're sending a message to the process. So you're not just simulating transaction, but you're making like a change in state. Again, you want to define which process you're interacting with. You want to define some tags. So again, tags help the process understand what it's supposed to do. And then data is an optional variable. So sometimes you can pass in data, sometimes you don't need to. One thing that is different from dry run to messages is a signer. When you're sending messages, you actually need to sign the message so that the process also knows who this message is coming from. So we have a signer. There's this utility called create data item signer, which you just get out of the box with this AO Connect package. And then what is window.rv wallet? So if you guys are using RConnect, RConnect is a really nice wallet, but it also comes with a bunch of additional utilities that are very dev friendly as well. And one of the things it embeds is window.rv wallet. So um, basically, it lets you like trigger wallet requests in the browser. So when you're like interacting with applications, if you like worked with Ethereum or something, you get those MetaMask pop up. Just think of that, but similarly on Arweave. Um, but so like if you guys remember from Bootcamp 1, AO is built on an Erlang-like system. So what that is there are different processes that have their individual memory. They don't have a shared state. So if they want to request any information from each other, they have to like ask from messages. So the first thing that we're doing here is we're going to like send a message to the process saying, hey, I'm looking for this XYZ information, whatever we define. But then in return, the process is going to send us a message in return. So we need to like be able to read that message. So that is why there's like this additional step here. While this might seem like why the extra step, it helps making sure that the processes are not getting clogged by information or like any bottlenecks. So that's why like all the processes have their individual, contained states. But yeah, that's it. And then just this is the format of the output that result gives, and I'm just like going to console log it so I can read nicely. But that's the utils, and let's see what else do we need. Okay, this is fine for now. Let's start with the backend setup. Okay, so now we're going to start creating our process. So you can head over to id.betaidea.dev, or you can work in your local IDE as well. We covered this in the previous bootcamp. I'm going to create a new project here. I'm going to call this the same thing as the application doodler. I'm going to use Notebook. So, if you've used Google Notebooks, they have cells. I just prefer to like organize code like that. But you can use the regular version as well. We're going to create a new process for this. And we're going to specify a custom module. So let me just copy the module ID first, and I'll explain what that is. And yeah. Click on this. Yeah. So now this module basically, what are modules? Modules, think of them like game cartridges. Like, you have one maybe Sonic cartridge, one Pac-Man cartridge, things like that. So like different modules give you the ability to do different things. This particular module is going to help us do what we want to achieve. So that's the module that we're loading in our process, and we're going to create the project. If this takes a moment, just refresh the page and try again. Oh, it's not connected to my wallet. That's fine. Okay, we're going to refresh this once. Connect, connected. Wait, no. Refresh, create. Okay, create project. Hmm, let's see what's happening here. Ankush, any idea what's happening here? That's right. Yeah. Okay, if this does not work, we'll just like do it on our terminal. It's fine. It's just a little difficult to read, but we'll work with it. Um, Cool. Yeah, I don't know what's up there. So let's just head to our terminal. I'm going to create a new process here called Doodler. So this is the AOS activate. Um, Let me just clear this first. So it's like, yeah, cool. I'm going to create a new process called Doodler. Hopefully you guys have AOS installed. If not, I'll just drop that command for you guys in chat as well. Give me a second. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so for anyone who does not have the AOS package installed, you can just run this. Okay, whatever. Cool. I'm just going to create a new AOS process here, and I'm going to call it Doodler. Interesting. What is happening here? Is guys, give me a second. I'm going to just check if my network is okay. I'm not sure what's up. Okay, it's fine. Let's try once again with this. Um, Wow. Okay. Yeah. We'll still try. If not, um, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. In the meantime, Rohit is trying to troubleshoot, seeing what's wrong. We can just maybe like have a candid conversation, like
Hmm.
among the people that are here. So yeah, just curious. I think a few of you here are. First of all, again, thanks for sticking around. It's really good to see, all of you guys being, following around, following the, things that it's a pretty power-packed session, I would say. A lot of alpha and insights. So all thanks to Rohit. So, but other than that, I think you guys are just starting out, or already in the AO or RV rabbit hole. Just curious, so we also know, like, okay, what do you guys, like, right? So, what are like your top one or two favorite projects or products in the Arweave or AO ecosystem that you have come across, or you have tested, you have tried, you have played around with, and like you really like that? Oh, Freddy's new to AO. Nice. That is good.
Oh,
Sent you.
nice.
I see a friend here, Dev. But yeah, Sent you is great. You guys are doing a good job. Yes, Better Idea is an awesome product as well.
Yeah.
Very, very, very helpful.
Maybe we can like discuss what you guys are interested in like building, or since like so many of y'all are new in this ecosystem, uh new to AO, maybe you can drop in chat what y'all are excited to or looking to get out of this experience.
Siddharth is asking, is this app gathered or made on your network? Unfortunately not. Siddharth, this is a very
Oh,
cool, tool that we found. But
let's
someone
see.
did. We still have a similar um, app called Llama Land that was made on AO. So you should check it out. Ankush, do you want to like drop your that you had a very nice resource? And I know there's a lot of new people here. So if you want to drop your that document that you made of
Hmm.
AO or RV 101, I think people can. Yeah. Yes, that's Llama Land. It's pretty cool as well. Yeah, thanks, Ankush. I'll also put it in the
Hmm.
like,
I'll just pull it up here.
yeah, guys, like first for anyone who are, if you're new to Arweave, even if you have been in some for some time, this is a great resource like Ankush had put together of any nice readings, videos, things to uh yeah, read about. So really
Hmm.
uh would really suggest you guys check it out. It's pretty nice. It gives a crash course. Yeah, all good, Freddy. Hey.
Um, let's see. Let's see if we can. Okay. Oh. Mm, let me create a new project. Let's see. If we're not able to create a new project right now, we'll just we'll go through all of the setup. I'll walk you out in detail what exactly is happening, and it can just be a session where y'all can understand not just the logic, but how like the core functionality of AO works as well. We can turn it into a more active Q&A session as well. So you guys can like continue dropping questions in chat. I think that would be a really fun part. So let's try once. Oh, nice. Guys, we got something happening. Okay, nice. iOS doesn't want Q&A. I'm kidding. But yes, okay, something happened. Let's see if it works. Cool. Guys, so yes, now like I mentioned earlier, these modules, they're like cartridges, whatever cartridge you want a Sonic cartridge, you want a GTA cartridge, you want a Pac-Man cartridge, you load into it. For this particular one, I'm going to load a cartridge that has like the core Lua functionality. So for those of you who don't know, AOS works with Lua typically, but then there's also additional SQL-like functionality. So we're going to see how both of these can work together. Now, the first thing you want to do is initialize these four things step by step. So I'll just do one after the other and I'll talk about each of them. So I'll go back here. Head over to the terminal tab here. Mm, let's see. Okay, I'm just going to refresh this once. And okay, nice. I'm going to go to the terminal and hopefully it loads. Okay, guys. So what we're doing here, we saw last time that AO has something called blueprints. What are blueprints? Code that can be used multiple times. Last time we saw something like functions for a chat room. Like instead of writing them for every application you build, or writing them for every application that you and your friends build, you can just have like this common templatized code that you can just load into any process. So that's what a blueprint is. Now, on top of that, there is this package manager called APM, which also Ankush has created along with Better Idea. What is APM? APM is something similar to NPM or Yarn or PNPM, like we saw, but it's specifically for AO related packages and it's built on Arweave and AO. So what? Okay, this is we'll wait for this to happen. I'll just walk you all through what's happening here. So we're installing the blueprint. So first we want to install the package manager. Like anytime on your device, before starting to install all of your packages, you will start by installing the package manager itself. You'll install npm. So that is what we're doing in our process. Every process, think of it like a small OS container. That's why it's called AOS. Like it's a mini operating system. So that's why we have a package manager for it. Now, once we have this package manager, what's the next step here is we want to update it. So we want to make sure we have the latest package manager. When you're using Node or NPM, you keep updating them, seeing whichever is the latest version. Just like that, we are doing this. After this, we will install a package called DB admin. So it's this structure here is the creator name and then the package name. So we'll quickly just look up the package. Um, yeah, this is one of the most popular packages that you'll come across when working with processes. The package is actually a wrapper. So what is it a wrapper for? We're going to use some SQL-like code. Um, and the module or the cartridge that we use, it had support for SQLite, right? So it has this pre-built, this Lua package pre-built, and then DB admin is a wrapper around that package, which adds some AOS specific context. So let's just go back to better idea and see if something's happened. Let's try reloading. Um, Oh, nice. There we go. Cool. I think we'll be able to head with this smoothly. Let's see. Nice. We were able to install the package manager. Now we'll just update it here. Once that's installed, nice. So yes, Better Idea gives you these nice pop-ups. This is similar to the toasts I was talking about earlier. Um, cool. So then the next command is apm.install. Then we're going to just pass a name to the package, like which package we want to install. And it downloaded the package for us. The last thing we want to do is install a chat room. So chat room is a blueprint. So again, we're just going to load blueprint and chat room. By the way, this dot load blueprint, it's a reserved command in AOS. So it knows what it's like fetching for. Okay, so we have this basic setup done. Now, what we want to do is we have the wrapper also for DB's install. We want to create a new database instance. So you can do that by, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy this link here and open it in this window just so it's easier. Cool. Where were we? Yes. So we're going to set up a database. So what do you need for setting up a database? Um, you want to open the memory, and then you want to create an instance of it. So our instance will be called admin, and you can check if admin is set up successfully by just running admin in the terminal. So you can see a database instance is set up. This is also like a general way for accessing any variable details. Now, once the database is set up, I want to create a table within it. Um, so I'm just going to create a new code cell here. Again, this is what I was talking about, guys, about the notebook, is that code cells help you like just structure the code nicely. At least that's like I prefer it. One thing is that delete this comma after the false, otherwise it will error out. Um, Something I left out. Cool. Looks like this table called leaderboard is set up. Why are we creating a leaderboard? Because again, we're creating a competitive game. So it's going to have four things. One is the ID or the wallet address of the players. It's going to have a name, a display name for the players. It's going to have their score. Oops. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute. Um, Yeah, guys, give me a minute pause, please, because there's like firecrackers in the background that I cannot help. Ashutosh, maybe you want to like drop in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. No worries. Second, how are we going? Yeah, yeah, I agree with Nishit. Thanks. We
Perfect
we
then.
cannot. Yeah, yeah, we cannot hear it. Your noise cancellation earphones are really nice. They're canceling the other way around. Oh,
Okay, sweet.
the session is such a blast that you need to crack firecrackers.
Cool, 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 cool. Okay, it's really loud here, so I thought you all might be able to hear it, but cool. Um, so guys, then the last is the is creator. So the is creator is like, who started the game room. It's just like a basic boolean that will help us do some functionality. And then you can check if like these tables are created correctly by running admin colon tables. And you can see we have a leaderboard here. If you want to check the values within the table, you can also do admin exec. So like exec is execute, and then select all from leaderboard. So this is your standard SQL syntax, and it'll give something empty because we've not like written any values to the table. Cool. The next part is some initial variables. We saw some game states on our front end. So these are the actual on-chain values of it, and like we'll use these values to populate our front end and work around with it. So we just like paste this into a code cell. By the way, guys, when I click this this play button here, what it's doing is it's loading all of this information into my process. The processes are modifiable. So like all of this code is building on top of each other. So like, we're literally adding like code pieces cell by cell. Um, yes. So what are these variables? We want to like track the current round. Yes, yes, Nishit. I deleted the comma right here. I forgot to like remove it outside the MD file. Um, yeah, so the game state, we have the current round, which is like we're starting from one. We have the max rounds. The active drawer here is the person who will like be drawing in this active round. For now, the mode is in waiting because the game has not started. The answered by okay, it's an additional variable. We can ignore that for now. And then these are two like other variables, the chosen word. So we're going to like pick a random word to give to the drawer, and then we're also selecting a drawer ID. This drawer ID will just like help us cycle through all of the people who have joined the game, so that every person gets a chance to draw. And then there's like some order to it. You can also get fancy about it and like do some randomization, but there's already a lot to do in this workshop, so I'm not going to do that. And then the last initial setup is the word list. So here we just have some random like pre-populated words. You can like pull them off the internet with Orbit, or you can again like do some fancy setup to fetch the words as well. Cool. Now that we have this initial backend setup, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this process ID. You can also copy it by like doing ao.id in the terminal, and it will give you the same process. So just copy this, and you want to go back to your code here inside the game context and change this game process variable. Cool. Now, after that, the first thing we want to do is design the welcome page. This page that we saw here. Uh, One pro tip that I did, and I'm going to share with you all, is I used V0 by Vercel to generate these components and pages, the UI side of things, just because it like works really nicely. And if you're not like dev with like great aesthetics, but you want your app to look good, it's a good starting point. So. Yeah. Um, I'm going to again copy this code and I'm going to create a new component here called landing page. Landing page.tsx. Okay. These are two other components that we're going to create, but let's understand what the landing page is doing. It's pretty simple. It's just like a small title here, which you can see. Yeah, it's this title, some description, and then there's these other components. So one is a player profile. Um, what is the player profile? I mentioned earlier that there is a bazaar ID, and then bazaar has like a bunch of information. That's like your profile. You can add your username, you can add your display name, you can add some profile pictures, whatever. This is a dummy wallet that does not have any name, so it's going to be anon. And then there's the play button, and then this is just like template stuff. Cool. Um, all right. What else do we have here? Yeah, this is all like just the stuff that we saw here. It's basic like HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So I'm not going to explain that in detail. What we will do is create this player profiles and see what that is doing. So I'm going to create a new component called player profile, singular, just a naming convention. Um, on my end. Nothing. Cool. Hmm. What's happening here? Did I miss something? Oh, maybe one more. Wait, no. Closing bracket. Oh no. Wait. Uh, what did I do here? Let's see this. Then this needs a closing bracket. Let's try this catch. Oh, it needs one more, I think. Wait, what's happening here? Give me a second. I'm just gonna figure out what this code is. There we go. Cool. It's the curly bracket, try catch. Cool. So what are we doing here? Let's take it from the top. One, whoever is like the active player or who's connected to the application, we're going to set them as the current player. So like every person who's connected, their details are going to be set as the current player. We have their active address. From the address, we're going to fetch their bazaar profiles. This is the bazaar process. Like we saw earlier, that there's some things you need to pass to the dry run. So we are passing the process that we want to get this information from. We're passing it an action, and there is a reserved action. So, anytime you send a tag that says, name action and the value is get profiles by delegate, it's going to send like the profile of the connected address. Uh, we're just passing the address itself as part of the data variable here. Again, the data variable is optional. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you do not. And what we're doing here is where okay, so this is going to give us the bazaar profile ID, and then we got to pass this into okay, why are we doing this? Okay, so this is the bazaar profile here. Bazaar profile only stores your IDs, your bazaar IDs. So this entire code piece here, it's going to return your bazaar ID. If you do not have one, you're just going to be anon. But once you get the ID, every ID itself is linked to their own process. So if you have a bazaar ID, it's a process on its own. And what you want to do from that is you want to get the info about the process. So this info action is something common. It's a naming convention that you see across AOS or AO. This info is what's going to return your profile. So again, like why we're doing a try catch here is because if you do not have a profile, it shouldn't break our application. And then once all of these details are received, we're just going to create a easy to read object out of it. We're going to pass in the ID. We're going to pass in the display name. If there's no display name, we're going to say unknown. If there's no image, we're going to say none. We're going to initialize with like a score 0, and then we're going to pass in the bazaar ID. And we're going to set the current player details. That's it. Um, so when do we want to run this function? We want to run this function first time a user connects, or whenever the connected user changes. So that's why I'm running this use effect with these dependencies. And based on if your current connected player has a name, it's either going to display that or it's going to display anon. So um, yes, that is the player profile. Now, the other thing that is missing in the landing page is okay. Why is this still? I mean, well, yes. The other thing missing is the join waiting. What is join waiting? Um, Yeah, we saw this play now button, right? So that's the play now functionality that we're going to add. Um, so yeah, joining a game room first. So like before we're able to do the front end functionality for it, we need a few handlers because like I mentioned, all of this gaming is on chain. So first we want to like create a register player handler because you need to register to the game. So again, I'm going to copy this handler code here. In better idea, I'm going to create a new cell and I'm going to paste this. Now let's understand what this code is doing. Um, every handler has three components. First is the handler name. Second is the pattern matching. So, a handler is the utility or a functionality that basically is expecting some specific information and is going to do something very specific in exchange. So the first thing is the name of the handler. The second is the functionality it is expecting. So you can pass in any function here. But the reason why I've passed just register player is because by default if I just pass this, it's going to like understand that what I'm looking for here, what pattern I'm looking for here, is that the incoming messages, they're going to have an action with this value. Like the action value is going to be register player. Um, so if you wanted to check any other tag, there's like ways to do it, which you can look up in the AO cookbook. But yes, so that's the pattern. And once this pattern is matched, it's going to run this entire function. So what is this function doing? Well, first, it's going to add you to the leaderboard. Um, we created this leaderboard table right here, but it had no values. So we're going to populate that. We're going to add you to the leaderboard table or like whoever registers. If someone is already registered, we're just going to like tell them, hey, you're already registered. And that's possible by this message.reply utility. So, typically when you're sending messages between each other, you have to define which process to send to. But message.reply is this reserve functionality where you reply to whoever has sent you this incoming message. So a handler is responding to some messages, right? So you're going to reply to whoever sent you that incoming message. Um, then you're going to add them to the members table. This is something from the chat room functionality we saw earlier. This is handy for, for the game to send updates to all of the players, common updates. Um, we're going to set is creators false initially. So what is this bit of code doing basically? Um, we need a creator to be able to start the game just for easier management of logic. So it's going to check if there's like any players in the leaderboard table. If there are none, then the first person who joins this, they're the creator. So we added this here. We're going to run it. And then there's the other code that we want is join players. So again, similar format, it's called join players. It will check for the action value join players. and then it will return the value from the leaderboard about like which all players have joined. So I'll just add this to my process here. Oh, and I'll run this. Now, guys, we've been adding all of these handlers, right? How do we know this code is actually being updated? Handlers, again, is like a reserved keyword in AO. So you can check if these handlers are being added by running handlers.list. So this will give you a list of all of the handlers that have been added so far. So here you can see we have some of the chat room handlers, we have some APM handlers, and then these two new ones which we added, the register player and the join players. So with that done, we are finally ready to create the join waiting component. So this join waiting component is the front end to interact with these two handlers. So we'll copy paste this and we'll see how it's interacting. So again, inside components, you want to create a new file called join waiting.tsx. And there's a few errors here. Okay, we need to install the button component. So yes, you can just do this or like fetch the code from Shatcn. Cool. These are just like generic errors, by the way, guys. Because it's like unused code, you can like choose to delete it. I've just kept it so you guys know what format is incoming, so y'all can work with it. But yes, so what's happening in the join waiting function here now? Again, we're fetching some common values and functions from the global context. And then we're creating the handle play now. So the play now button that we saw, we're creating a function for it. Again, console logs here are added just for visibility and understanding at which phase what is happening. Sometimes like a lot of these blockchain interactions can be async. So it's good for good practice for debugging. Now, what we're doing is we're using a util here. So we had created these utils, right? These are just like wrappers around common functions. So you don't have to write the whole function from scratch each time. So these are like the utils. And then here we're using the message util. What we're saying is interact with the game process. So the better idea process that we just created. We're passing in an action register player. So, we saw the handler structure, and the second part of the handler was the pattern matching, where by default we just like passed in a string that said register player. That's possible for recognition because of this particular tag. So we're saying action register player. Then we're going to pass in our display name. So when it registers us, when it adds us to the leaderboard, it's going to display our name. And then this is just some return information that it's going to give us. It's going to tell us it's successfully registered to the game. And then we're going to have like a pop-up that says, "Ooh, successfully registered." Um, and then we have this second dry run that we're going to do. So once we've registered to the game, we're going to be heading to the waiting room. Um, so when we go to the waiting room, we also want to see who else is waiting to, for the game to kick off. So that's why we're fetching the joined players. So like who else is in the leaderboard. Uh, if we are the first player, we are going to be the creator. And then, okay. So one thing, guys. Sometimes like when you've joined a game, you're waiting for someone else to join. How do you manage the state, like how do you make sure these functions keep running in the background so it keeps checking if new players have joined, and just updates it, showing you whenever someone joins. So that's what we're doing here is we're going to run this in a use effect, so it keeps running every like 1,000 seconds. um yeah, that's all right, Siddharth. And then there's the button here. Cool. So, uh, okay. There are a few. Let's see. Um, let's try. commenting these out and actually running our application here and seeing what it gives us. Um, so I'm going to do pnpm dev. Um, ooh, I have another one running. Cool. Um, okay. So I'm going to open this port in this. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to open a new one here, and let's see what it shows us. Hopefully it renders. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we need to like set up everything first before. Cool. Um, no worries. All right. Let's see. We will just build out all of the functionality first, and then we'll see. We'll play the game to see how it works. Let's go back here. Next is leaving a room. So, before the game starts, if you just want to leave the room, you can just create another handler called unregister. So it removes you from the members list and from the leaderboard. Again, we're going to add this to the process code. Um, For guys like who are new to SQL, I'll just quickly explain to you all the format of this. What we're doing is we're going to select the ID. So like whenever someone sends an unregistered request, we're going to select the ID of the user from the leaderboard. And okay, wait. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remove that particular ID from the members table, and we're also going to delete that ID from the leaderboard. We also have a corresponding component for it. So we just create a new component here called leave game. We're not using. Okay. Guys, so if you like don't want some of these errors, you can actually copy this other ESLint configuration that I have. I'm just going to replace this here. Yeah, this cleared a bunch of errors for us. And this should go away if I just do this. Cool. Maybe our app will work now. Let's try. Okay, components or waiting room is not defined. Let's once more see if we can actually preview what we've built so far. Let's go. Okay, no, it wants these components. Cool. We'll figure this out. All right. So we built like the leave room functionality. Oops. After that, once this basic functionality is created, we're going to create the waiting room functionality. So before the game starts, people are going to be in the waiting room. So we have this whole giant function here called start game. So when you're in the waiting room, if enough players join, you want to be able to start the game as a creator. So what it's going to do? It's going to create a second table. Called rounds. So the table is called rounds. what is it going to have? It is going to have an ID for the round. So the ID is, which round it is. Auto increment is a keyword in SQL, which just like keeps increasing the ID automatically. We have the active drawer, so who's going to be drawing in this round. We have the word, so what word are they going to be drawing out. We have the drawing itself, so once the drawing is done and submitted, this is a nice thing that we have that we can reference later on. And then correct answers. So this is just going to be like an array of who all submitted correct answers. Again, like these two things are something, benefits of blockchain technology and particularly Aviv is that you actually have a reference of, who interacted in what way with a particular game. Again, what we're going to do here is we're going to select the first player from the table. Um, we're going to pull the user's ID and name. We're going to pick a random word from the words list. Now, guys, there are some packages that Lua, or like rather AOS and its version of Lua has out of the box. We saw Lua SQLite earlier. The math is another one. AOS Lua does not have all the packages that you have in Lua, mainly for like security reasons. Because it's a blockchain and then there's like funds and things like that. But it has a few trusted packages. And then what we're going to do is once this is done, we're going to set the game state mode to drawing. So earlier it was in waiting. So, in the waiting room, we're going to set it to drawing. We're going to assign a bunch of other variables to the game state. And then we're going to send people, okay, we're also going to initialize the round. Uh, so, we're going to pass in some values to the round, like who the active drawer is, what is the word for the round, and things like that. And then we're going to send messages. So, what messages? Whoever is the active drawer, only to them we're going to send the chosen word. So, only they know what they're drawing, no one else knows. And then two other messages we're going to broadcast to every player. So, we're going to tell them, hey, welcome to the game. XYZ round starting now. And then we're also going to tell them who is going to be drawing in that particular round. And then the other handler is the game state. So, we saw there's like a few variables we're adding here, like drawing, timestamp, active drawer. The game state is going to store these variables and it will help the other players know what is happening. So again, like we're going to add this handler as well. And then we're going to copy this code into the waiting room component. Oops. Yo. Let's go back here and create a new file called waiting room.tsx. And we're going to paste this code here. And I think this should be resolved. Cool. Now we just have to create the game round. So yes, the game round component now. Um, Once you're done waiting, once the game starts, once the creator of the game starts the game, you move to the game round itself. The game round involves if you're the drawer, you will draw. If you're the guesser, you will guess. For that, we have one core component called game round. So we just go to components, new file, and then we'll say game round or TSX. Um, Cool. This has a bunch of other components that we want, so we create them. But what is this game round component doing? It's again going to fetch which players are joined. So you can see from this action here. So, in the waiting room, we were constantly checking who's joined. We're also going to do that in the game round. If it's like the same players, we're not going to update this joined players global state. And Yes, and then it has three components. So there's one like a drawing component. So when like someone is drawing, the drawer will see a canvas while everyone else see that wait for the drawer to finish their drawing. In the guessing, we'll see the drawing which the drawer had created, and the other people will be able to, send their guesses. And then there's a sidebar component where you'll be able to see the leaderboard. So let's start creating each of these elements. We have the sidebar here. This is like pretty straightforward. The sidebar also has like some chat utility which I've commented out. We just want to see the leaderboard. Um, but if you want, you can like uncomment the chat utility and just play around with what's happening. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is. So I'll just create a new component called sidebar.tsx. I'll paste this code. We're missing a same component, so I'll just add tabs and okay, nice. Hmm. Now for the actual drawing part, we need two handlers. So whoever is the chosen drawer, they need to know what that chosen word is, right? So we have a handler for that. Uh, it's basically like here we were storing the chosen word in a global variable in the start game handler. So it's just going to return the global value to whoever the drawer is. And then the other handler that they need is the submit drawing. So, once they have the word, once they've like drawn what they want to, they need to submit this drawing so that the other people can see. So we're going to add that. I missed an H here, so make sure to add it for whoever's coding along. What is the submit drawing doing? It's so we created the rounds table, right? In the rounds, we also added a first round. In that, we added so if you see here, well, let's see here. So here we created like the first round. Here we created the first round. We added like the active drawer and the chosen word, but we left the drawing and correct answer values as empty string. So once like the drawer submits the drawing, it's going to update that drawing as part of the drawing variable, and then it's going to switch the mode to guessing. So once like the drawing is complete, you want people to start guessing, so it's going to switch the game mode. Now let's import the canvas element component. Again, I'll copy all of this code and then I'll explain what is happening here, why we are doing it in a particular way. Create a new file called canvas.tsx. We have the canvas here. It's missing this dependency called xcalidraw. So again, I will install this pm add at xcalidraw. By the way, guys, xcalidraw is like a really clutch tool. Um, it not just like it not just lets you use like the really nice interface that you see a lot of people using now to just make the diagrams of their project and workflows and things like that. You can embed it into your own applications. If anyone wants the command, I've just pasted it in chat. And then the other package that we need is this package called R bundles. So just install it and then I will explain what it does. Very cool. This is the code to install our bundles. Yeah. So what's happening here, guys? Well, one, we created a canvas. So the canvas has some props. It's going to take the time left from the parent. Why is it going to take time left from the parent? Like, what if you keep drawing infinitely? Like, there needs to be some end to that, right? So we will create a timer. We'll see that in a bit. and then that timer will be passed down to this canvas component. The timer will keep running, and if the timer runs out, then the drawing will be submitted on its own. So now what is happening in all of this code here? First of all, we have this code from Excalidraw. All of this code is just basically exporting the drawing to an SVG format. We're going to store that SVG format in like an XML serializer. So like basically just converts the SVG into like an SVG string. Then what we're doing is we're going to upload this image, this SVG to Arweave. So for that, we're going to create a data item. You can store any data to Arweave. So we're going to create a data item, and then we're going to pass in some tags that help identify what data it is. Why are these tags helpful? Is because you can access data on Arweave from your local browsers. So you can do something like gateway/transaction ID, for example, like arweave.net transaction ID. And if you have passed these tags, it will render a nice preview for whatever elements are actually supported by the browser. So, traditional images, videos, whatever, if you tell Arweave what type of content it is, the browser will be able to render it directly. Otherwise, if it's like some obscure content like 3D objects and things that are not supported by the browser, you'll have to create special functionality. Uh, but yeah, we're creating a data item for it. We're uploading it to Arweave. We're uploading using this technology or this tool called Rdrive. So Rdrive basically like it's primarily like this front end similar to Google Drive on Arweave, but they also have this SDK called Turbo that lets you upload to Arweave, and they subsidize any transactions under 100 KB. So because all of our SVGs are under 100 KB, we're going to use this. So when you're uploading this data item, you need to like just pass in this as an octet stream. These are just like standard things. And then whatever URL you get out of it. So, when we upload this to Arweave, we're going to get an ID. We're going to create a URL from that ID. The URL is something like arweave.net/ID. You can use whatever gateway you like. And that URL is what we're going to pass to the submit drawing function. So the handler that we created earlier, submit drawing, we're going to pass in that URL. And what it's going to do is it's going to take this URL and it's going to add it to the SQL table for the round. When are we going to call this function? We're either going to call this function when the time runs up. So, a drawer is drawing and then the time runs out, we're going to submit it by default. Otherwise, they also have a button to submit the drawing. So that is the canvas. In a bit, we'll see how the canvas looks once all of the components are defined. After that, we have the drawing view. So again, like I mentioned, it's a single page application, guys. So we have a bunch of views here. We have the landing page view. We have the waiting room view. One of the other views is the drawing room view, of which the canvas that we just defined is a part. So let me copy this code here and let me explain what's happening. I'm going to create a new file called drawing.tsx. And I'm going to paste this here. Nice. So again, like this is where we're setting the timer. We're going to get the game state. So we're going to define a function to get the game state. What this function is going to do is it's going to keep checking in the background. So, if you're not the person drawing, how do you know if the drawing is being submitted or not? So it's going to keep checking in the background if the person who is drawing has submitted the drawing. There is also the fetch chosen word. So, if you are the drawer, you first need to know what word do you have to draw. So that's what we're fetching. If you remember the handler for the chosen word, we're just triggering that handler by sending it a message with the action chosen word. And this is going to return that word to us. For the drawer, it will be rendered so they can see what word they have to draw out. Um, and yes, So again, like this fetch chosen word will run if you are the active drawer and you're connected to the application. Um, Fetch this game state. So, um, what this bit of logic doing here is it's running down the timer. And once the timer runs out, it's going to check the game state. So, it's going to check if the drawer has finished drawing and if the game state has changed from drawing to guessing. And here you can just see all of the elements that we have. We have like we're showing which round it is, which time. We're going to show them which word to draw. This is for the drawer. And then we're going to add the canvas element. If you're not the drawer, you're just going to see waiting for XYZ person to finish drawing. So that's the drawing component. Um, and what do we have here? Yes. So now once the drawer is finished drawing all of this stuff, all of the other players need to get the drawing, right? They need to see what the drawer has drawn in order to guess it. So that's the handler for this. Um, we had like pasted a URL, right? So where was that? In the canvas, yes, we were passing in this URL, right? Which we are storing in the SQL database. So get drawing is going to just fetch that URL and it's going to return it to, okay, it's going to return it to whoever is like sending this message. So we're just going to add this handler. Now this handler will be triggered for like every player. So, every player will send this process, this get drawing handler, and they'll like get the message for the drawing. And the last bit is submit answer. So once you can see what the drawer had drawn, you want to submit your guess. So you're going to add the submit answer. What is submit answer doing is you're going to send your word. It's going to check if your submitted word is corresponding to the correct answer or not. If it's corresponding to the correct answer, it's going to add you to the correct answers variable from the round, and it's going to give you like 10 points. Otherwise, it's going to tell you incorrect answer and try again. And then the last part is you've given the correct answer. You were waiting for like say XYZ amount of time for everyone else to answer. But now that time has run out. So you want to move on to the next round, assuming there's like enough players there. So you will call the update round function or the update round handler. So that's the last handler that we have. Thank you guys for making it this far. We'll see what the update round handler is. I'm not like going over like these two particular things in each handler because it's like common syntax. This is the handler name. This is the action tag that the handler is looking for. I'm sure like you guys are familiar with this now at this point because we've like defined a lot of handlers. So what is this function doing here? Okay. Now, what's going to happen here, guys, is if some people like submit answers and like all of the clocks run out at the same time, everyone's going to send a process like update round requests. Um, so you don't want the process to be spammed. So what you want to do is like if one request comes in, you want to accommodate for the request. But if in like 20 seconds you get several requests, you're going to tell everyone else, hey, like we've already received the request. The round is already being updated. Otherwise, if you don't run this, what's going to happen is suddenly from like round one, you'll jump to round 10. Um, so once you receive the update round request, you're going to increment the round uh, you're going to increment the drawer ID as well. So, we saw that the drawers we were picking in order from the leaderboard. So we're going to increment the drawer ID. We're going to pick the drawer itself. Sorry. In this bit of code, we're going to see. So if there were like just two or three people instead of like eight people, we have like 8 rounds. So if there were just like two or three people, we want to start counting from one again once you reach the last person. Again, like this is similar. You're fetching in the active drawer details. You're redefining to like whoever's chosen now. You're defining a new chosen word. If the chosen word is same as the chosen word previously, we're just like incrementing it by one, so it chooses the next word. And then this is all similar to the start game where we're adding a new entry to the rounds table. So with the active drawer, the word, and then the drawing and the correct answers are going to be empty. Again, whoever the new active drawer is, we're going to tell them this is your chosen word, and we're going to broadcast to everyone else that new round has started, and XYZ person is the new active drawer. One other check we've added here is to see that the current round is not exceeding the maximum rounds. If it does, we're going to exit this loop and just we're going to say game is over. So that's the update round. That's the last handler. And I think that brings us to the last component, which is the guessing component. After this, we'll be able to see all of this work that we've built in the past. I think 1.5 hour in action. So we just copy this last bit of thing and nice. This is the last component. So I'll just create a new file here called guessing.tsx, and I'll paste all of this. It needs a few packages, so we're going to install them. It needs the input package, and it needs the aspect ratio package. Hmm, nice. Um, So what is happening here, guys? Again, we are setting a new timer. We're setting this drawing state. So when we fetch the drawing from the backend or the process, we want to set it and then render it for the users to see. We're going to check the guess of the user, and then we're going to also like keep a track if it's the correct guess. Like if it's a wrong guess, they can keep guessing, but if it's a correct guess, you don't want to like keep you don't want them to keep spamming this. After that, there's an image loader. So like I mentioned, you're actually able to preview Arweave data right in your browser, but the browser and Next.js by default don't understand it. So we have to create a custom loader for this. Uh, then we are going to fetch drawing. So we've created a function here to fetch drawing. So what it's going to do is it's going to interact with the get drawing handler, and it's going to return the drawing to the users. We're also creating another fetch game state handler. So what this does is once you've guessed correctly, once the timer has run out, you want to move on to the next round, right? So you need to keep checking with the process if the process logic has gone from drawing to guessing and back to drawing, or if it's stuck somewhere. So we're going to fetch this on the front end. And then lastly, the handle submit. So you want to be able to submit your submit your answers. So we're going to call the submit answer, and then we're going to pass in the data guess to it. In return, we're going to see what we get, and based on that, we're going to like do a nice toast pop up. Okay, yes, we have an update round as well. So update round, like I mentioned earlier, if you like answer or timer has run out, then you want to update the round. Now, when do all of these functions run? Well, you want to run the fetch drawing as soon as you move to the guessing mode. Um, then you want the timer to continue running, and if the timer hits zero, you want to fetch the latest game state to check if the round has been changed, or the game mode has been changed, and then just update round. And this is the front end code for it. So, but yes, that was a bunch of information that I've spoken of. We're going to try loading the app and see how that works. We already have this here. I'm going to shut this and then again do pnpm dev, and hopefully it loads now. What's this error? Oh wait, is this like a Next.js 15 error? Um, let's see. I think it's the new Next.js version error. Um, Give me a moment. I'm gonna figure out how to fix this. I'm gonna try to deprecate the Next.js version here, guys. From next 15.2 to next 14.2.15, because that was the last version that I had good experience working with. Next.js 15 has just launched like 2 days ago or something. So yeah, there might be some different configs here. Uh, let's try now. What's happening? Mm. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just going to figure out what is the config. Oh, okay, it's React and React DOM has also changed. So I'm going to try to use previous versions of that React 18. Let's see. Mm. Okay, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I have this exact same code set up in a different repo, and I'm going to showcase the front end to you all with that. Just because I don't know why this Next.js thing is bugging here. Uh, Let me pull up that. Mm, yes. Um, So yes, guys, this is the exact same code I have here. I'll also share the repo for this with you guys. For anyone, okay, let's try copying the package.json. Actually, yeah. Ankush, good idea. Um, let Before just one last try to figure out what's happening here. Let's try copying the package.json from my existing repo to this. Um, with only changing this name. And let's see. Okay, I think it worked. Let's see. Let's open localhost 3001. Um, Nice. There we go, guys. I'm going to paste the package.json here for whoever is following along. Again, awesome, guys. Thank you for following along so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this here and I'm going to open it in this particular browser just because it has a Bazaar profile. So you will get to see the full thing. And just so you see that we've actually got the current repo working. It's localhost 3000. I have a different one running on sorry, the 3001. I have a different one running on 3000. But yeah, I'm going to connect it with our Connect here. Our Connect is just a really nice browser. I have this address here. I'm going to paste in my address password. Cool. Now, guys, one thing here you can see is the permissions that we requested from the Arweave Wallet Kit provider earlier. So let me do this before it errors out quickly. But yeah, these permissions you can see is all of these here. You want to do always allow. Why you want to do always allow is just so you don't like keep getting pop-ups to allow it. And now you can see here I have my Bazaar profile display name pulled up. This wallet here does not have a Bazaar profile. By the way, guys, these like different wallet setups, all of them in this model, they're provided thanks to Avi Wallet Kit. But yeah, again, always allow. And this is going to remain. Um, we fix this code. Wait, how we fix this code? I don't know why it's running. Cool. We're just going to go to play now. Okay, wait, what? Give me a minute. It's this. It's the code and player profile. Literally fix this code. I don't know what's up. Okay, now. Okay, we're going to click on this play now. So this, like when you click on play now, it brings you to the waiting room. You can see you got like a nice color box here. Um, my name you can see here, and you can see the room code. Room code is the process ID that you're connected to. And we have the option to leave room. We can also see how many players have joined. If I leave room, it'll just unregister me. Quickly, if we head back to our process on better idea before doing anything else, we'll also get to see a bunch of like messages here. Let me see. No mind. Let's do inbox. So, guys, inbox is a special list on AO. Um, it's it all collects all of the messages that you get, or like the messages that a process gets, and you can access the length of the list by doing hash. So, like hash inbox gives the length of the list, and inbox bracket hash inbox will basically give you the last message in the inbox. Let's see what it is. Ah, okay, we don't have any message. Guys, the reason why we don't have any message, we've been interacting with this process, but why does it not have any messages in this? Is because when you handle messages, they automatically get deleted from the inbox. So that is something to know. Um, where were we? Sketch. No, it was Zula. Yes. We're going to try to log in with this. What's yeah. Let's go back to our code quickly and maybe we'll just ignore this. Yes, maybe this will help it work. Let's refresh. It's still editing out. Else, let's see. Let's return a dummy profile code. Um, return. Let's see what does it have. Okay, we're gonna return profile. Display name is gonna be unknown. This is gonna be none. And what else does it have? Very much. Let's see. And this still wait, what? Where is this picking this code from? Where am I editing this code? It's Am I running the wrong process here? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. Yeah, let me give me 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna set up a wallet with a bazaar profile on this, so I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment here, just so I can like walk you all through the entire process. Give me a minute. Almost done, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, nice, sorted. Let me just share my screen. Now you guys can see here I have two wallets with bazaar profiles. I'm gonna get rid of this. Um, and I'm going to play now. So it's going to say player already registered because that was the player on this screen, row test. And this is the new player that we're going to register in this game. So there we see it got updated here as well, right? Cool. Now, because this player joined first, they are the creators, so they can start the game. Um, I can leave this room. If I leave this room, um, it'll delete this player from here and see, it just shows one player. Cool. Successfully unregistered. So yeah, I'm going to join this room again just so I can play. Oh, wow, nice. We do not have any creator in this room. Okay, sorry guys, my bad. I shouldn't have left with that creator. Let's see. I'm gonna do a bit of like hacky stuff here. What's this? Oh, hopefully we'll have these bloopers in recording. Let's see. So man. Shit. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the room with both the players, and hopefully we can figure this out. Oh, nice. Cool. We have two players here. I'm going to start the game now. I'm assuming this is the first player. They're going to be the drawer. And you can see simultaneously what happened. Okay. 11 is. Expected history. Where is this even coming from? Like the render method for drawing. Um, what? This is already automatically going to put me in game. Okay. I'm gonna copy this draw. You know what, guys? I'm gonna copy this drawing from here. Let's see what's happening here. This this is weird. This Next.js 15 and React 19 have thrown me off. Oh wow, it's not letting me because Next.js is outdated. Okay. 1 minute. We're going to connect with the older running process and we're going to see that. What am I going to do? From this doodler, I'm just going to go to the game context. I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to go to my other code base, which I had created beforehand, which seemed to be working fine. I'm going to paste that here. Uh, and then here I'm going to load localhost 3000 because it's already running on that one. And then here as well, I'm going to run localhost 3000. Hopefully this works. So guys, you can see the timer you're running, by the way. Let's see. Come on, work, please. Let's go. Sweet. Next.js 15. Interesting. So this is a really nice embed from Excalibur. This border is just something nice to, help you recognize what's happening. We have to draw a rainbow here, so you can see that only I can see, like, the drawer can see what they have to draw. So I'll just maybe do like this. Ooh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna draw it a little nicely. Um, we also have colors here, so we can do like. Oh wow. Oops, I ran out of time. Oh nice. See there? The rainbow. Um Now if I didn't know what this was, I could, make a random guess, like say something like stripes. I don't know what is stripes. It's gonna say incorrect answer. Please try again. But if I do rainbow here, it says correct answer. You guessed it right. It disables this for me. And the timer is running. Why does Bazaar profile creation take so much time? I'm not sure. Like I think it's because AOS might be slow today. Like you saw initially, we also had a little difficulty getting this started. But okay, so this is going to like run the timer down. Just if there were like anyone else, if they had to make a guess, and okay, wow. Um, nice. Somehow I'm still the second drawer. Cool. Okay, did we mess up something here? Ooh. Okay, we're going to figure this out. But like that's the gist, guys. That's the app. There's some bugs here, which I will fix, and I will share the final repo with you guys, along with like the hack MD as well, with a lot more detailed information. So I'll just keep this as it is right now. Maybe we can open this up to questions, and I see there's just a few folks here, so perhaps we can even head over to the comment room to discuss. I'm gonna stop sharing and get down from the stage.